Hey guys, Ash here from Low Family Racing. Second instalment of our little video series we're going to do about the build of the FE and the other cars in the family. So today we're going to do a little talk about Dad's 1978 HZ SL Kingswood. We picked up the car in 2019 after he sold his little 63 Mini Cooper that was in the family for about 13 years. It's slotted in quite well to the family. We bought it as a roller, no motor, no box. Came home, got the Low Family Racing touch, a nice cranky little 6-cylinder, a set of wheels, lowered, and it all just sort of snowballed from there. How about we take a look? So as you can see here, the big old land yacht, Caribbean turquoise on the bottom, has had a 2-pack respray in its life, but is a factory GMH colour and a factory lid on top. So when we picked it up, we haven't really touched the body, a few little touch-ups. It was in pretty good condition when we got it, which was one of the big selling points. Definitely wouldn't have picked a car to paint this colour, but it was on there and we really love it and it works. So if we have a look inside here, all fairly original on the inside, except the obvious B&M shifter and a few extra gauges in there as well to let us know what's going on under the bonnet. Sports steering wheel, short of that were original front seats, original carpet, original dash, original back seats, original scuff plates. Everything's fairly rigid in there with a nice uncut dash except for the little single DIN CD player. If you come around the side here as well, you can also see that we've added in the real 70s touch with the Bond roll cage in the back. So it's a factory 70s option, 70s and 80s option. Nice little touch. We'll come around the front of the car here now. This was the... We've got Zeke here in the shot as well, he's our shed dog. So to give this the real Low Family Racing touch, everything has to come in with a Holden 6 and leave with a fairly impressive Holden 6. So we're looking at a 202 Holden motor, heavily modified 9-port high compression head, massive solid stick in there as well, crow lifters, crow push rods, custom crow cam, Yellow Terra roller rockers on the top end, blue motor, ignition running back through the MSD Street Fire ignition, 4545 FAJ carburetors over this side. Really good match. So the motor we did have in that we mentioned in the first video, the white Commodore that we used to race out at Warwick, the VC. This motor was actually built for that, so it is a fairly cranky little engine. Since then, when the Commodore got sold, we ripped the engine out of that, put it back into the Kingswood, so it came off E85 and went back to 98 pump. It is about 11.5 comp, so we do need to run a booster. We went from well and truly over 200 rear wheel horsepower in the Commodore back down to around about, I think the dyno sheet was 175 or 180, which we were still pretty happy with for a little street driven car now with a fairly big converter. So it's got a TCE converter that Jason built for us. It's around 5.5 grand stall. It's a very big stall for a little Holden 6, but it's all matched through the cam and the power band is perfect. It's tied to a Trimatic box, as we mentioned, TCE converter, going back through to a fine spine banjo diff, and for all the Holden purists, they're going to be going via banjo. It's a factory fine spine LSD. We have been lucky enough that because he's only a streeter now and not getting absolutely flogged all the time, the diff is holding up quite nicely. A lot of chrome under here, Dad being retired, plenty of time to polish it. So we've got the aluminium radiator, we've got the bow cam rocker cover, all matched back through to all the speed flow fittings, polished catch can, polished vacuum tank for the brakes with the big cam, not having a hell of a lot of vacuum there. Yeah, and that's what we've got going on under the bonnet. So if you ever hear this thing cruising around, you'll probably wonder why it sounds like it does. That answers that question. So we'll have a look in the back. So just nice and tasteful in the boot, spare wheel, all black. Dad made up the little box up the back here to put his little tool bags and whatnot in the back. So just a nice little basic setup in the back. Nothing massive, but just nice and tidy. The rolling gear on this car, we've got the 15 by 8.5s on the rear, tucked in a 235 tyre. They're actually a Jegs version of a Weld wheel. We love our Jegs wheels. The Trail's got Jegs wheels on it as well that you'll see in our next video. And we've got the 15x4s on the front wrapped in a 165 tyre. So surprisingly, does handle very well on the road considering the size difference in the tyre. Look guys, that's a bit of a basic wrap up on the Kingswood. We'll definitely touch more on it once racing all starts again. When we get the big girl out. We have had the car out in the past. We took it to Willowbank about 12 months ago and we ran it down there at one of the testing tunes. Even though the car does weigh and is a big heavy weight and it's now on pump fuel, we still ran mid to low 14s in it, which we were pretty happy with for a street car to drive there and drive home. So look guys, that's about it on the Kingswood. As I said, keep an eye out for the upcoming videos. We've got one coming up shortly, a bit on the Tirana. We've got one coming up as well. We've got our big car show in next weekend. Yeah, next weekend. So we'll have the FE, the Tirana, and the Kingswood out there at the car show at Southbrook, promoting the page and also promoting Autobahn Toowoomba as well. Going out there with those guys. So we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks guys.